get it.
All right, well, like you said, plenty of EnVyUs fans out here today. Wolf, majority of the audience definitely going to be favoring them. So they come in on paper favorite as well as the backup from the crowd.
And, you know, after really until, I should say, that 3-2 reverse sweep, a lot of people might have thought otherwise, just because of the Season 2 performance. Rhinos Gaming Wings coming up, looking stronger than Titan, and changed up their roster, bringing Umtae in. EnVy looked pretty good overall to start things off. So you might not have thought that EnVyUs would be so massively favored, even though they are Apex champions, until that reverse sweep. And now the hype is back for this team from the West. And we're going to see EnVy running the Sombra to start things off here as we move into Shrine.
Trying to be as clear as possible. EnVy on the Sombra. EnVyUs coming in on the other side of things. Taimou is running on that McCree. So it's going to be the 2-2-2 from them with Cocco in onto the Winston, and then Mickie on that Diva, his namesake. Into the back line goes EnVy, looking for a pickoff for the chips, and with the help of Fury, they actually come up with it. That's going to be 3 pickoffs coming through for the Wings as they go ahead and they pile in onto the point as it becomes available. Should get that first cap coming through very swiftly, and just some surprise kills. They'll finish off Mickie right at the end as well. So very strong showing to start things off with this triple DPS.
Yeah, and it wasn't even really about the Sombra. Sombra just hacked a bunch of health packs, harassed a little bit. This was not an amazing hack play or some sort of crazy dive, just some supplementary healing. You know, Sombra kind of a half DPS, half support. That's why she's normally played by the support players. But it's Mango once again flexing onto the Tracer, showing his ability to play DPS here. Stun misses actually on him right now. Taimou's having some trouble.
Yeah, not going to find that flashbang, so can't lock him in for that pretty much guaranteed headshot, at least when you're Taimou playing the McCree. It's just about a guaranteed one.
There's
he
one.
Jumps in to try to contest, but gets taken down very swiftly. And finally, EnVyUs firing back, looking for that retake here. It's about 35% on the meter so far for Wings. They will get it. The team wipe coming through as well. EnVyUs building up towards a couple ultimates, but Wings not too far behind.
That's right. EnVy buying a lot of time there on the Sombra. Is going to stick with it, actually. Wants to look for another EMP. Effect's going to wait for the drop down for a kill. He's shown this several times already in the series against Meta Athena. His target will likely be Amy in the back line.
A little bit more, so yeah, we'll just drop in here, try to build up that pulse bomb. Maybe he can stick down onto somebody like Umtae. Pops out the recall, gets himself to safety. Meantime, Taimou just trying to snipe out from behind, sticking in behind his front line. Mickie and Cocco being a nice big front wall, so they leap forward and take out Oxo.
Not everyone will play the McCree in a situation like this, but when you're as good as Taimou is at it and no one can harass you, you just get free headshots, you get free damage, not even needing the Deadeye here. He's willing to 1v1 a Tracer, he's willing to get into that risky position because he's so good on the hit scan that you just have to have someone in the, pressuring his backline there, and so far Rhinos Gaming has not had that. Mango's just not been able to get in there and find damage.
Yeah, he's been able to sit really far back comfortably, and the Discord orb coming through just makes a prime target for that McCree. So good shots coming through, but now Wing's going to be looking for that retake. Push around coming in from the sidelines from EnVy. They drop down that EMP, and they actually find Taimou as Oxo pops out the tac visor, takes him down, looking for a little bit more as he just fires straight into the face of Cocco, but won't be able to come up with a kill. Now looking for Effect, he's just dashing around in onto that Tracer. Self-destruct tossed out by Mickie. Not quite going to find anything here for him, but EnVyUs hold on to the point pretty firmly thus far.
Effect barely survives. It's actually super low. He's trying to find a health pack that's not hacked right now. Probably could have died and been back to full health by now. Looks like he's just going to chase HarryHook. They're going to pair together for the heals, but Rhinos Gaming Wings don't have any tools to push this with anymore. They kind of blew everything, including that EMP.
Well, actually right there, what they wanted to do is they wanted to kite Effect back and actually give the heals over to Chip so he can build up for another Transcendence very quickly. So they give the move speed from Harry, actually get him in range for that, but now Rage coming through from the side of Umtae.
Okay, here we go. We're going to see the Pulse Bomb carried here by Effect. This is going to be Rhinos Gaming Wings' last chance to make this work. Oxo does narrowly survive there. Looks like Fury had his back, and Effect is going to look for another angle now. Gets the pick here onto EnVy.
Yeah, Discord Orb helps him take that one down, but EnVy do suffer a couple of kills, but they are more than winning out on these exchanges. Nobody in on the point as Fury kites back. Pops that self-destruct, but to no avail, isn't there to contest, and EnVy will go ahead and pick up Shrine.
There you go. So definitely tough to commentate EnVyUs versus EnVy. We're doing our best as professionals here. So it just seemed like overall Taimou was left to do what he wanted over and over and over again, and there was just no pressure on him. And as much as we sang the praises of Mongo being able to switch into the Tracer, even though he's mainly a support player, just wasn't enough there. And Cocco just having his back too. This was a very one-sided first set in terms of DPS.
I mean, Mango overall looks pretty good on the Tracer, you'd have to say, for flexing off support. But when you're going up against Effect, there's just that much more added pressure there for it. Wings, unfortunately, do not get that victory for themselves, and now we move over onto Village, as Taimou is swapped over onto this Pharah, already looking for Mango. Yeah, almost takes him out. The biotic grenade comes through, does keep himself alive, at least for the moment. And Taimou is still just sitting pretty, takes out Umtae. You mentioned how much of a turnaround performance he was going to need on that Winston so far. Not going to be seeing it.
Look at the
rest of the team.
I mean, he's just
pretty big.
He's basically sitting back here. It almost feels like no one knows he's there. Already building up a pulse bomb, and he's going to drop it here pretty soon if he finds that angle. Taimou gets the finish off kill onto Oxo. This is going to be the first cap for EnVyUs, and trying to pick Amy off on his way out is Taimou. Still actually going to contest this. Mango not protected here. And look at this. Taimou is just coming in. He's ground Pharah, man. There's the rocket barrage. And Fury will get picked off as well. He does get taken out by Umtae. This will surely be the capture.
I mean, yeah, they find so many picks with that one. Perfectly angled barrage. There wasn't too much threat there onto Taimou, so he could just layer it down and just takes out multiple members with the help of his team. Gets picked off at the end, but overall, very excellent performance from Taimou, opening things up with this Pharah. It just, in the meantime, poking in from behind, looking for a cheeky pulse bomb plant to delay Wings from pushing back in, but won't find it yet.
Effect is harassing Envy, so he can't deal with the Pharah. Mango can't deal with the Pharah because the Pharah's killing the Mango. That's what we're seeing here. Taimou's just killing on himself. Pulse bomb comes in, doesn't connect actually. Looks like he might have been eaten by that D.Va defense matrix there, but he's still going strong in terms of damage. Does finally get taken out here. Chips got the res. He's going to pop it here at the last second.
Yeah, pops it in through the ceiling, and it's just keeping everybody alive. That Primal Rage Winston just trying to smack him out of the sky, but Umtae is not going to find too much here. And EnVyUs continue to hold on to the point. Self-destruct from Mickie, buying them some time as they maintain control, and then picking off Mango buys them even more. EnVy starting to push around the side, trying to get this retake off away from EnVyUs, but he just gets jumped on, piled on by so many people, miraculously stays alive. And that retake, that first cap, finally comes through for Wings.
It's really important, too, that they got res with it as well, so that's a pretty large bonus. Chips only at 36% now. Things start to tick up here for Rhinos game, and they didn't have to use too many ults for that. See if Taimou wants to stick with the Pharah. He's actually nearly at another rocket barrage.
Very swiftly we'll have that, and then Chips, if you can just keep pocketing him, build up towards another res pretty quickly. Wasn't the most impactful res that we saw, but it's still just by the, a lot more time there for EnVyUs to hold on.
Nice barrier here actually coming up from Umtae, going to deny a lot of that damage, but it does eventually get worn off. Self-destruct's going to get dropped out here. Does get the angle onto Harry, so good defensive ult
they find
here.
Chips as well, so both the supports going to be taken out, so EnVyUs just goes ahead. They kite back as a team trying to get themselves out to safety. Mickie, unfortunately, not able to do so, but honestly getting killed was probably one of the best baits that he could have had. Wings certainly could have left him out in that baby D.Va form and forced him to either, run and jump off the map, which would have delayed even more.
So EnVyUs has a lot of ults to work with here with the res coming in. The scary part, though, is that they're only at 53. They really want to use everything for the retake.
Well, they already buy some time here. Effect sneaks his way in. They get it to about 50%. Actually, Wings not in onto the point. They finally start recontesting here. As you can see, Umtae and Fury pushing back in. Mickie gets popped out of the mech, gets taken out by that tac visor from Envy, who's firing away, finds a second one as he gets rid of Effect. HarryHook goes down, and Wings are holding on strongly to this point. 75% for them. So close to a retake for EnVyUs, but they come up short. Do not find it. They invest quite a bit off of that push.
All that HarryHook has is the sound barrier. The Effect is going to have a pulse bomb here to try to recap this, but Rhino Gaming's Wings just needs one more hold. Someone's going to have to delay here. This looks almost set. Oxo has the pulse bomb, and they do have nano. There's a lot of different tactics that Rhino Gaming Wings can use to defend this. Here comes Effect in to try to get the sneak cap.
Yet again, looking for it. Playing very far forward here is Wings, so the cap getting ready to come through, but it gets top yet again, and Effect now getting slept down, will get taken out in the end. They get it so very close, but it comes up short. It goes down, Cocco going to be answered. Either Winston getting taken out, Mickie tossing out that self-destruct in onto the point. That buys enough time here for EnVyUs to get in, but they still have suffered massive losses. 3 down, self-destruct finds Chips. 4 as the respawns start to come through. Mickie trying to buy some time as he gets popped into the mech yet again. Tac visor used by Envy. There's no EnVyUs members nearby for him to take down.
Yep, just for good measure. Okay, Effect comes in for one last
that
deny.
boop just knocks Effect right out off the point.
Well,
And,
Taimou spoke bold words in the interview. Didn't think they were going to get a point, get around. And Rhinos has already done that here on Village. Just having the better control early on. Actually, that retake around 50% was what swung it for them. They were able to hold it, and it just didn't feel like the reses were super impactful there from Chips. So sticking with the Mercy for a long time, sticking with the Ferret. Started off really well for Taimou, but perhaps should have switched earlier when they stopped finding Effect. And honestly, Umtae's barriers were really well used. I felt like his zoning there, they underappreciated. Just kind of finding the angles to where Taimou was trying to drop down those missiles and put up the barrier, protected his teammates to allow them to get those caps.
well, we're actually going to see the Sarisa coming through. Mickie going to be operating on this one this time. So
Sanctum.
no Diva for him. And yeah, I mean, Sanctum, a very good spot for it. Can get that massive drag with the halt and just pull people off the point. Taimou also going to be changing things up. Goes over the road hog. Already gets a hook in onto Umtae. The biotic grenade comes through, but it's still not enough to keep him alive. He gets taken out as Mickie finds the first blood so far to start things off.
And also, Ariza's just so good actually against Reinhardt in these positions because she has such a large clip. She can eventually just burst through that shield. So really helping to work against this Reinhardt battle. It's going to be the first cap for EnVyUs as a result. It's not the first time we've seen it. Plus the utility she has with the halt, as you mentioned. So I think going to be less and less of an itch pick. Oh,
already
with the pull
finds
already.
it. Yeah, just drags him right off the point, takes him out. And all of Wings just having to kite back that biotic grenade coming through from Chips, denying out the healing to help take down Oxo as Effect chases forward. And
all right, let's
we'll go
watch this
ahead,
again.
we'll get another look at this. Long range finds it, just yanks him right off.
I like how he looked at the ground before he died too. As if he was shocked and awed by the experience.
The Wile E. Coyote right there from Umtae as he gets taken down. EnVyUs holding firm so far, 30% accrued for them as Wings start pushing and wrapping around from the left-hand side this time, but still, multiple members of Envy playing very far forward. Pulse Bomb comes through from Effect, finds Mango, could be the halt, but HarryHook gets punished by that Flame Strike from Umtae.
You can just see what Mickey's able to accomplish in terms of Reinhardt shield breaking, though. He's not going to obviously be able to protect his teammates alone, as there were several picks coming in. It was a good charge by Umtae, but you can see just from his first-person view what he's gained, and we're going to see his ult come up in just a moment for that damage boost.
Well, now Wings have gone the offensive here. They do have that Graviton Surge ready to go if they want to toss it out, and they do so. All of EnVyUs just sucked in here. Chip's going to be the first one that goes down. Earth Shatter comes through, finds multiple members, locking them up, and they're just taking them down. Swinging away is Umtae. A near team wipe now completed as EnVyUs gets taken out. Effect the last one to fall.
Now with a wipe on this map, you can actually hold this archway fairly easily, especially with Azaria. So now Rhinos Gaming Wings in great position to buy so much capture percentage here. Going to have Tac Visor in just a moment and the self-destruct. We see Halt trying to yank them up into the air. It's not going to be successful. Here comes the self-destruct, and it's a triple there with Umtae.
Mickie misplacing the barrier, doesn't block it out for himself, and just absolutely get destroyed. Fury coming up with multiple kills. EnVyUs gets stomped out yet again at this archway. As you say, so hard to push through here. EnVyUs do have multiple ultimates available for themselves, including the boost from Mickie, who's actually
Effect's
going to
come from behind.
Effect comes down, fells out that pulse bomb, finds Envy. Now looking for more as he dashes through into Umtae, but that biotic grenade comes through, so he has to recall out. With 70% now accrued here for Wings, it's been a fantastic hold for them so far. Got them a decent enough lead. Can they hold off this retake? Looks like the boop's coming through. Fury gonna go ahead, drive himself off the map with the help of that boop from Harry.
Harry actually gets the boop and the kill onto Mango, so there'll be some decent spawns here coming out from Rhinos Gaming Wings. The key coming up for them is going to be the Graviton Surge yet again. So actually,
I'm still a ways away from it, honestly. I mean,
yeah.
You look at somebody like Hoon, who is so good at that Zarya, building up that ulti charge very swiftly. Envy going to be considerably further behind, just at 60% now.
Cocco also
play this out really well.
Also with the Cocco with the Earth Shatter, once that shield goes down, that's what Mickey's trying to work out right now. Look, you can see that Orisa fire. He's just trying to knock down the Ryan shield so we can get that angle to come in.
Yeah, the whole hog as well is being expected to try to knock that one down. Cocco right now just swinging his way through. Sound barrier used by HarryHook, keeping his team topped off. They maintain control over the point, retake a lead so far.
Oh, there's the hook on
Umtae. They find
Umtae.
They drag him off the map. Taimou, massive pickoff coming through for EnVyUs. Might just be enough to help them hold on to this point.
It looks like
forward.
it.
Pulse Bomb not going to find anything, but they still get multiple picks off Chips. Sniping out Oxo. Effect taking down Mango on the backside.
Earth Shatter just not needed here, Achilleos. Doesn't look like.
They just hold on to it the entire time.
There you have it. They're going to take map number 1 here on Nepal. Just had the better composition overall. They used it so well. I was really worried for them when they lost control. They had the full wipe and the archways were held, but it was just effect alone that was able to get the pulse bomb off, cause some disarray to allow them to break through. Had that failed, perhaps it's a totally different story and Rhinos actually wins the first map, but they put all their
Here we go. Welcome back to Kings Row. Visiting for the second time this evening. EnVyUs starting things off on defense. Taimou showing off that Junkrat, but something tells me that we should see a swap come through.
Yeah, Mickie grabbed the Widow before he could, so I guess this was the next best thing he could show the fans.
Yeah, he's just going to go say hello, perhaps.
I was hoping for the spray and the Haya, but guess not going to happen. Well, we've already seen Mickey's Orisa. I don't think we're going to see the Junkrat. As exciting as that would be, it would definitely give old Jeff a little hype moment. See a Junkrat competitive play. Not going to be today, sadly, for the Junkrat mans out there. He's going to switch to the Soldier to look for the Rhine defense. Mickie on the Diva as usual, so it's going to be the 2-2-2.
Yeah, nothing too shocking here from EnVyUs. So 2-2-2 definitely been what they have been looking at for the most part. We saw the triple DPS from them during their first set occasion, but mostly that 2-2-2 coming through. But now Wings pushing forward, going to be having that triple tank for themselves as Envy comes back in onto that Zarya yet again. Taimou operating on that high ground, just trying to rip through Fury's mech as quickly as possible. Felix Rocket's not quite going to get that connection. And Wings just all pile inside the hotel. They'll just exchange places. This is one of the more interesting attacks we've seen so far.
Oh, definitely so. They're actually kind of on the backside here. Hoon is showing us a lot how to play Zarya on this map. EnVyUs had some trouble with it. Doesn't seem like they're having as much trouble with Envy, but he's getting closer to that Graviton Surge. Now it's 72%. Keep an eye on that. They get the pick on the, Mickey's mech, which means no way to eat it.
He's 100 energy. Just burns through that shield. Cocco has to drop it and goes down. So a nice little start here for Wings as they start to get that tick up coming through. Haven't quite gotten too much yet. Actually, the nano boost going in onto effect of all people.
An interesting choice, perhaps a mistake there or a misclick, as Envy's now going to have it. And this is going to be a bad time for EnVyUs. He's at nearly full energy, not even needing this Graviton Surge. Just wants to knock Mickie out of the mech so he can use it if need be. But I don't think the case will be that he needs it if things continue like this.
I mean, they've gotten the first tick so far. They desperately want to hold on to these ultimates where they can. It seems like they'll be able to do just that as they go ahead, posture forward. EnVyUs going to have to concede this. So 2.5 minutes on that time bank here for Wings as they get the cap. 5 minutes now for the Streets phase to work their way to point B. EnVyUs right now only sitting on a couple ultimates, just the pulse bomb and that tac visor from Taimou. Everybody else can be further behind.
They actually were so ult efficient with this too. Like they only really use the nano. Umtae is going to have the Graviton Surge soon, and we'll see if the Graviton Surge will go off here. The key is to kill Mickie beforehand. Effect's going to look for a pulse bomb behind.
It drops back down. Didn't quite get the recall to stick up into that high ground. So it does drop in. Dashes through, gets a pulse bomb in onto Umtae beyond the shield. So it does take him out. Buying a little bit of time here as the payload is stopped up in that first archway. Chips swapping over onto that Zenyatta, not operating on the Ana anymore. Wants to be able to have those Discord orbs to break down these tanks very swiftly. You see there, as it was placed onto Umtae, just helping out even further.
Yeah, we talked about this going into this series, how Umtae is sometimes position-wise going to be vulnerable to Effect's Tracer. And we'll see if Envy actually drops down this Graviton Surge to be a particular
really far
moment.
forward here. The barrier's buying so much time for Mickie as he almost goes down. Finally does get popped out of that mech. Sound barrier is used here from the side of Wings. They take out Cocco as well. So both the tanks here from EnVyUs getting broken down. Team gonna go ahead, kite back closer to point B, gather up, and then they'll push back in through the Streets phase. But Wings still have not had to use that Graviton Surge.
We might see some special tactics here. Okay, now he's gonna drop down. I was like, ooh, he wants to drop it off the high ground, surprise him.
Look at this payload. It is just
it's
steamrolling through.
It's chugging, man. This is a great push so far for the Wings here. Envy is spotted right now.
honestly, the best thing right now for EnVyUs would be if Mickie could get an eat on that Graviton Surge. If he could go ahead and consume that for his team, that'd be a big turnaround opportunity for them in the fight.
Oh,
Shatter comes down, locks down 2, Effect being one of them. They push forward. Still haven't used the Graviton Surge yet, but Effect does go down in the end as Fury boops him out with the D.Va mech. Backfires coming through from Taimou, takes out Oxo, Graviton Surge
bang
coming through, Bang comes down, only finds Cocco. They're able to take out HarryHook on the backside of that exchange. Taimou fighting his way back, still up on that high ground of chips, and no man's land will get taken down. EnVyUs just suffering heavy losses on the street space, trying to fire back. They do pop Fury out of the mech, but Mickie gets taken down simultaneously elsewhere.
So the key here is hold that thought, another pick here, attempt from Effect onto Umtae. This just keeps happening. It happened so many times in the series against Meta Athena, and now Effect is looking to make this happen once again to remove that Reinhardt shield. At the desync spawn, Umtae was so far out there.
Yeah, that one was the combo. It actually made the Reinhardt turn, and then Taimou was able to take him out simultaneously. So, decent work. There's still 2 minutes on the clock here for Wings. They've pushed the payload pretty close, you'd have to say, towards point B, but now have limited options as far as their ultimates are concerned. Umtae nearly with another Earth Shatter. Found the two man that time around. Self-destruct comes through, not really gonna find much, but Chips is able to snipe out Mango in the meantime, so a nice little opener to get rid of that support. Earth Shatter ready to go, tosses it out, only find Chips, but they kill him before he can get the charge off. HarryHook coming to the rescue, takes out Umtae, and now Wings shoved all the way back towards point A, still getting picked off as Taimou and Effect just wreak havoc on their squad.
Effect's gonna hold on to this pulse bomb. That was a really amazing angle that was kind of given to Umtae because he was knocked into that position, but he was so low, there was no way he was gonna be able to get the charge off there. So that's another ult wasted on the side of Rhinos Gaming Wings. He decides to switch over to the Winston now. Doesn't feel like this Reinhardt is working out for him anymore. And this push had so much momentum. You were talking about how the push was basically flying, and now it's definitely a totally different story here. Taimou on the high ground now, gonna look to knock out this D.Va before he pops the attack visor.
Still has it. You can see Fury just trying to be as annoying as possible, but does get knocked out at the same time, and multiple members of Wings are going down. They're just ripping right through them. EnVyUs like a hot knife through butter. Taimou not even having to use that attack visor, has it to hold off a last-ditch push from Wings, but with the staggers coming through, as Envy does die, it is not looking good for them. A very swift take on point A. Plenty of time in the bank. A very fast shove to get around that, second to last corner, but can't get further than that. Really good, just turnaround fights from EnVyUs.
Yeah, the train feels like it's out of steam now. We've seen some desync spawns from Rhinos Gaming Wings as they get too aggressive and get picked by Effect, who's constantly marauding around, looking for those kills. Taimou still holds on to this. Unfortunately, he's found already, though. He pops attack visor.
He's knocked in behind the team, so now has a bit of an angle. You see the drop down does come through from Fury to try to block as much as he possibly can, but while the rest of the fight is broken out, Fury goes back into the mech, doesn't get anything with that self-destruct, dashes forward, is able to take out Taimou, but Envy and Mango Hope both died. Envy is only losing the soldiers so far. Self-destruct thrown down by Mickie. Can he find anything? Yes, he can! Double kill comes through as Fury and Oxo both get taken out, and now it's just a desperate scramble to stick onto the payload from the side of Wings, but no one nearby cannot possibly do it. They can't make it to point B.
Really good defense there by EnVyUs. The start was definitely rough. Like, they struggled to get a foothold on that defensive position, but when they were allowed to use Effect to get in the backlines, pick off Umtae several times, force him to turn around. We talked about this a lot last week against Meta Athena. We saw the very similar Tracer effect coming out from Effect. This forces the Reinhardt to turn around, so even if the Pulse Bomb doesn't kill him immediately, if he's not low enough, the teammates, the DPS, will come behind you and grab that kill. So now this could be an easy push for EnVyUs as they move on to attack. But Envy also on the Zarya held that Graviton Surge for so long. Probably could have had multiple if she had used it earlier, but was so worried, obviously, about Mickey's defense matrix eating that Graviton. And it feels like one of the reasons why Rhinos Gaming is having so much trouble is they've flexed the Tracer between 3 players, Envy, Mango, and Oxo, whereas you look at Effect, he's a much better Tracer than all 3 of them, but he's only played Tracer. It's the only hero he's shown in this tournament. He's not flexed off of it for a second, and I mean, it really shows when you have the Tracer main versus 3 kind of half Tracers.
I do want to say, I don't think that Envy had to necessarily use the Graviton Surge. He definitely would have had opportunities to use multiple, but the problem is that the bigger bang that they went for didn't really pay off. They only got the one pick in onto Cocco when they used it, so it didn't have that grandiose effect that you really want to see from that big combo coming through. So when they finally used it, it just didn't do what it needed to. So I understand the restraint from Envy. I think that he needs to be a bit more ruthless when it comes down to this defense, because Wings need to hold point A as long as humanly possible.
Well, it's going to be the Taimou Widow to start us off here. We'll see how long he sticks with it, but world renowned, here we go. Going to actually be super aggressive with it. Already Umtae blocking, but he's going to try to wear that down. Decides to back off for the better of it with this comp. Just not going to be able to find an angle.
See what he wants to go for. It's going to be the soldier yet again here. HarryHook, good guy Lucio, kites back. Just give him that speed up, make sure they can operate as a team, push forward here.
Look at Effect's position. He was actually trying to jump off of the high ground to harass. Actually gets the recall back up here. And he
really
is just he's marauding around, just trying to find kills, trying to find any sort of ticks here on his ultimate.
Already EnVyUs, they're going to go ahead and be able to push forward in onto the point. Effect still just trying to wreak havoc onto the backside, get onto these tanks. We just absorb these bullets as he builds up for that pulse bomb. The first one going to be game-breaking here for EnVyUs as they look to just go ahead and take that second tick already. Umtae goes down as Chip snipes him out. Discord Orb's already doing work for this triple tank composition on the side of Wings. They lose out on Fury as well. A very fast cap here for EnVyUs. 5.5 minutes in the time bank for them.
If you notice how Effect plays, he'll look for a pick, but he doesn't force the issue like this.
Bomb
Okay, he's
comes
gonna get
down.
it this time, but when he looks for these picks, when he goes very deep into the back lines, if it doesn't work out, he just starts dropping off free damage, and he doesn't go all the way, and he just shoots at anybody he can, which forces a big reaction from the Wings, and that's when EnVyUs comes in. That's when Taimou's free to do that damage from the high ground on certain maps, on this map, and finish off targets. And it's just the ability to shift between hyper-aggression and just ult building from Effect. As you can see here, looks for the pick. Oh, I can't get him. I'm just going to back off and get whatever I can. Force the reaction. It looks like Fury's kind of been put into babysitting duty here. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, I don't have to go all the way in. I'm just going to harass here. Build some meter.
Almost takes out Amy right off the start of that one. You can see the Transcendence coming through as they push forward. Amy finally going down. Effect is looking for another pulse pump, and honestly, might not even get the opportunity to have it because EnVyUs is already so very close to finishing off this map and taking match point. Chips and Taimou do get an answer for it, but Mickie comes up with a double kill, and the sound barrier comes down, buying some time. Barrier there, able to absorb the majority of that.
Kills him before he remix.
Takes out Fury, and the payload's just rolling into the station. Very swift victory for EnVyUs. Match point now in their hands. We might just have another extremely swift 3-0 here tonight, Wolf.
It may well be, Achilleos, and Effect is just finding these angles over and over and over again. We've been following his first-person view, and I do want to just continue to highlight just how he goes in the